U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, in his strongest public criticism of Israel's conduct of the war on Hamas in South Gaza, said there was a gap between the government's declared intentions to protect civilians and the casualties. Good morning, I'm Abheudaya Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Chandra Gal of Gorka arrested from the Tribhuvan International Airport in possession of around 14 kilograms of gold. Customs officials arrest Gal, who brought gold plates concealed to his body. Ventilator, ICU and pediatric services halted in Sankwa District Hospital since the past 3 months. Only 17 out of 59 designated permanent staff working at the hospital. The UN says aid teams have only extremely limited movement in the south of Gaza, where civilians were fleeing to, and access to the north was now entirely blocked. And Nepal batting first against Asian powerhouse Pakistan in their first match of the ICC Under-19 Asia Cup. India also currently taking on Afghanistan in the inaugural match. Chandra Gal of Gorka has been arrested from the Tribhuvan International Airport with possession of around 14 kilograms of gold. Gal of Gorka, who landed in Kathmandu on a Fly Dubai flight last night, was arrested by customs officials soon after his arrival. Gal had brought the precious yellow metal by concealing gold plates to his body. Customs officials had intensified surveillance at the airport after being tipped off that Gal was scheduled to arrive in Kathmandu on Wednesday. However, after Gal did not land on Wednesday, the customs officials continued with their surveillance on flights arriving yesterday. Gal, who got off the aircraft towards the end among the passengers, was arrested by the customs officials. The Department of Customs informed that the gold confiscated from him would be weighed today, and its quantity would also be tested. Its quality would also be tested, rather. The department also said further investigation is ongoing, with monitoring on Gal's call details and people he was in contact with. The meeting of the Council of Ministers held at Singadora yesterday formed a high-level committee to probe into the disputed transactions of 80% stake of Ncell. The meeting of the Council of Ministers yesterday formed a 5-member committee led by former Auditor General Tankamani Sharma. According to government spokesperson and Minister for Communication and Information Technology, Rekha Sharma, the committee includes Fanindra Gautam, Baburam Bhandari, Ritesh Kumar Sakya, and Sujan Kumar Kafle. The committee has been directed to furnish its findings within 30 days. The Parliament's Public Accounts Committee yesterday had urged the government to hold the said share transactions of Ncell and investigate the issue. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal had held talks with senior leaders of the ruling coalition in this regard as well. The Malaysian telecom giant Axiata had purchased the 80% stake of Ncell from Norwegian company Telia Sonera in the year 2015 for $1.36 billion, which, as per the existing foreign exchange rate, stands at 143 billion rupees. Axiata has now transacted the same stake to British company Spectralite UK for 6.66 billion rupees. The transaction has drawn interest from a number of government bodies in Nepal, as a massive foul play involving tax evasion has been suspected. The Patan High Court issued an interim order to halt the sale of shares of telecommunications service provider company Ncell yesterday. The single bench of Judge Purushottam Prasad Dhakal issued an order directing both the parties involved in the share transactions of Ncell to be present at the court on 11th of December next week. The court has also issued an interim order directing the Office of the Company Registrar not to register the trade of the shares until the allocated date. The court has further issued a show cause notice in the name of the Company Registrar Office. Gokul Bahadur Rokaya had filed a writ against the Office of the Company Registrar, Nepal Telecommunications Authority, Securities Board, and Axiata Group, among others. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal met with United States National Security Council Senior Director for South Asia, Eileen Lobasher, yesterday. The Office of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers said that the meeting dwelt on issues including mutual benefit and collaboration. Lobasher who had met with Minister for Foreign Affairs NP South immediately after she arrived in Nepal on Wednesday, has also met with Chief of Army Staff Prabhuram Sharma and National Security Council Advisor Shankar Das Bairagi. Meanwhile, the U.S. Embassy and the Ministry for Foreign Affairs have not made official announcement regarding Lobasher's visit to Nepal. There are a total of 110 employees at the Sankhwasava District Hospital. Out of them, 17 are permanent staff, while the remaining 93 are not permanent. Due to this, the hospital has not been able to provide required services. As the term of the temporary doctors working at the hospital has expired, ventilator, ICU, and pediatric services have been halted at the Sankhwasava District Hospital since the past 3 months. Out of the designated 59 permanent posts for the 50-bed hospital, only 17 posts have been filled. The hospital has been operating by adding 39 temporary staff from Koshi province, 3 from temporary scholarship, 5 from non-governmental institution Nick Simons, and 46 from the Hospital Management Committee. There are postings of 7 specialized doctors and 4 medical officers at the hospital. However, only 1 medical officer and temporary specialized doctors are providing services at the district hospital. The hospital management has been providing services by adding 46 employees, spending around 1.5 million rupees on a monthly basis. The amount has been collected through registration of patients, lab services, medicine sales, among other services. The Sankhwasava District Hospital Administration has admitted that it has been difficult to run the hospital due to the lack of enough permanent staff. The hospital has been providing service to around 70,000 patients on a yearly basis. Patients from Bhojpur and Sankhwasava throng the hospital to receive specialized services. More than 300 patients arrive at the hospital daily. An encouraging 200,000 tourists have trekked at the Annapurna circuit this season. CNN had listed Mustang Valley among the 23 best destinations, while Lonely Planet had included Annapurna region among the world's 10 must-see destinations, which has resulted in massive flow of tourists in the Annapurna region. Annapurna Area Conservation Project since 2001 has started keeping the data of tourist arrival. The same year, some 65,313 tourists had arrived at the Annapurna area, while last year, following the pandemic, 129,733 tourists had arrived. This year, by the end of November, 181,489 tourists have already visited the region. Prior to this, the highest number of recorded tourist arrival was in the year 2019, when 181,000 tourists had visited the region. With 1 more month still remaining for the English year to end, the region is bound to break all records of tourist arrival. Majority of tourists visiting the Annapurna region are from India. There is a massive tourist movement at Annapurna Base Camp, Mardi Mountain, Gandruk, Tilicho, Thurangala Pass, Upper Mustang, and Myagdi's Godepani. A sizable presence of tourists, including domestic tourists, are visible in these popular sites. The tourist arrival here has also boosted the tourism scenario in Pokhara. The Annapurna Conservation Area that covers Kaski, Lamjung, Myagdi, Manang, and Mustang districts is fast proving a thrilling and memorable experience for the tourists visiting here. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What's your take on the trend of increasing universities without planning and study? Your options are A, political pressure, B, ploy to show work, and C, need of the hour. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces, why has the government failed to control inflation? Let's take a look at what they had to say.
मुख्य यो जुन माथि हुनुहुन्छ उहाँहरूले नै चासो नदेखाएर हो जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई।
बाहिरबाट आयात गरेर सामग्रीहरू ल्याउने गर्दा यो महँगी नियन्त्रण हुन नसके।
महँगीलाई कन्ट्रोल गर्न हामीले के त कुनै रणनीति बुनेको चाहिँ पाइदैन जस्तो लाग्छ।
आर्थिक मन्दी लागेको हुनाले चाहिँ
महँगी नियन्त्रण नभएको हुन सक्छ
कृत्रिम अभाव सिर्जना गर्ने कालो बजारी चाहिँ प्रमोट गर्ने निकायहरूलाई राम्रोसँग नियन्त्रण गर्नु सकेकोले गर्दा
कहाँबाट कसले नियन्त्रण गर्ने हो हरेक मान्छे भ्रष्टाचारी भएपछि
राजनीतिक दलहरूको खिचातानी मुख्य कारण
जसले त्यो महँगी गरिरहेका छन् उनीहरूलाई कारबाही गर्न नसक्नु नै यसको प्रमुख कारण हो
उत्पादन पनि माने कमी भएपछि अब महँगी नियन्त्रण गर्नलाई पनि गाह्रो छ
निर्यात कम र आयात बढी हुनु नै यसको प्रमुख कारण जस्तो लाग्छ
जनताप्रति सरकारले चासो पनि नगरेको हुन सक्छ
सरकार नै व्यापारीको कब्जामा छ र व्यापारी कब्जामा चाहिँ व्यापारीले जस्तो निर्णय गरायो त्यस्तै गरिदिन्छ सरकारमा बस्ने मान्छे
अहिले सरकारले त झन् के गर्ला र आशै छैन
हाम्रो नेपालमा भएको अलिअलि पैसा पनि अलिअलि हैन धेरै नै बाहिर गइरहेको छ अनि कसरी महँगी नियन्त्रण हुन्छ
समयमा गएर अनुगमन गर्नुपर्ने अनुगमनका पाटाहरू छैनन्
सरकारसँग चाहिँ महँगी नियन्त्रण गर्ने कुनै नीति नै छैन नियम छैन
यो महँगी नेताहरूको कारणले बढिरहेको छ
विभिन्न देश कम्पनीहरूबाट भित्र नेपालमा सामान भित्राउँदा महँगी धेरै हुन जान्छ
सरकारको कमी कमजोरीले महँगी बढिरहेछ
महँगी धेरै बढिरहेछ हैन महँगीको लागि समाधान गर्नु पर्यो
सरकारले कमसेकम मूल्यमा उसले वृद्धि नगर्ने गरी सहुलियत गर्नु पर्थ्यो
हरेक वस्तुहरू खानेदेखि लिएर लाउनदेखि लिएर हरेक चिज महँगी हुने कारण यही सरकार हो
It's time now for the international updates. United Nations Aid Chief Martin Griffiths has said the Karim Abu Salim crossing, known as Karim Shalom in Israel, between Israel and Gaza, could soon be opened to allow more humanitarian aid to be delivered to the war-torn Palestinian territory. The United Nations yesterday said aid teams had only extremely limited movement in the south, where civilians were fleeing to, and that access to the north was now entirely blocked. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres on Wednesday invoked Article 99 of the UN Charter, urging the UN Security Council to act on the war in Gaza. Article 99 allows the Secretary General to bring to the attention of the Security Council any matter which, in his opinion, may threaten the maintenance of international peace and security. Palestinian ambassador to the UN, Riyad Mansour, expressed his hope that the Security Council would adopt a resolution calling for a ceasefire today. Tens of thousands of Palestinians are streaming into Rafah to escape intense fighting elsewhere in the south of the Gaza Strip. Thousands have tried to go to UN schools to find shelter, but have had to sleep in front of buildings as there is no room for them. Some 1.8 million Palestinians are residing in southern Gaza after an order from the Israeli military to leave the north of the Strip in mid-October. Hamas attacked Israel in October, killing 1,200 people and taking 240 hostages, some of whom were released during a short-lived truce. Hamas officials in Gaza say Israel has killed more than 17,177 people in its retaliatory campaign, including around 7,000 children. Armenia and Azerbaijan say they will move towards normalizing relations and will exchange prisoners captured during the fighting in Nagorno-Karabakh. The two neighbors have been involved in a decades-long conflict over the disputed territory. In a joint statement released last night, the two countries said they saw a historical chance for long-awaited peace. Both countries said they hope to sign a peace treaty by the end of the year. European Council President Charles Michel welcomed the move, calling it a major breakthrough in Armenia-Azerbaijan relations. The countries say they will work towards signing a full peace treaty based on mutual respect for each other's territorial integrity. Baku is releasing 32 Armenian military servicemen, and Yerevan is releasing 2 military servicemen as a gesture of goodwill. Other moves include Armenia's support of Azerbaijan's bid to host the COP29 climate summit by withdrawing its own candidacy. Azerbaijan has agreed to support Armenia's candidacy of a regional group associated with the climate talks. The two countries also called on the international community to support their efforts. South American countries have called for peace in the region amid heightened tensions between Venezuela and Guyana. Venezuelan voters backed annexing of the oil-rich Essequibo region. Countries in South America called for a peaceful solution to the border dispute between Guyana and Venezuela as tensions simmered in the region. Venezuela held a referendum last Sunday where voters backed the annexation of Essequibo, an oil-rich region controlled by Guyana that borders Venezuela. Since then, tensions have mounted on the frontier. The regional bloc Mercosur, comprising Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay, said in a joint statement with neighboring Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru that Latin America should be a region of peace. The statement warned against unilateral actions as they create additional tension. According to the declaration, the countries urge both parties to negotiate to seek a peaceful solution to the controversy. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.